Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, we'll tell you how much the Torrance Police Department collected during National Drug Take-Back Day.
And you won't want to miss this year's Armed Forces Day celebrations that are just weeks away.
Then applications are being accepted for the annual South Bay's Got Talent show. We've got the details.
Plus, the weight loss facility is teaching clients how to shed pounds while making a lifestyle change. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Julie Chan.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks so much for joining us. Here are your top stories. Torrance 8th graders took a break from the classroom and experienced firsthand what it's like to work in local government. 21 8th graders from the Torrance Unified School District were chosen to take part in the city's annual Students and Government Day. Nearly 1,200 essays were submitted by students for a spot in the program. In its 10th year, the special event helped students learn effective civic education. They started their day by taking a tour through the Torrance Police Department, meeting the forensics team and police officers, as well as visiting the shooting range. After the tour, students were partnered with the department heads, including the Torrance Transit Director, City Manager, and Finance Director, to name a few. Students shadowed their city leaders around for the day. Ann Kemmel from Casimir Middle School was the student mayor. She says she's learned how much is happening in the city of Torrance and the importance of local government.
Some people have jobs that make a big difference in our city, in our country, in everything, and these people here do make a big difference. So that was one of the biggest positive things that I saw today.
Finally, students conducted a portion of the City Council meeting so they can learn the mechanics of self-governance and what it means to participate, and teach them how they can make a difference at the local level. Each participant received an award of recognition. To be chosen, students had to submit an essay to their social studies teacher. This year's essay asked students to develop a volunteer program for 8th graders that promotes the betterment of the Torrance community. If you missed the live Torrance City Council meeting, you can head to torranceca.gov/2372.htm.
100 deserving children received some new wheels to enjoy for the summer. Boys and Girls Clubs of the Los Angeles Harbor Youth members received new bicycles worth $50,000 with the help of the Depot restaurant in downtown Torrance, PVG Group, and Torrance's first responders. The annual bicycle giveaway is in its 7th year, and the 700th bike was donated in front of the Depot restaurant. The bicycles were provided by Helen Cycles and Trek Bicycles. The recipients of the bikes participated in an essay contest, which asked them to write about why a new bicycle would make a difference for them. The most impressive ones were shared with attendees, and Torrance Police and Fire Department members volunteered to teach the young bicycle riders how to ride their new bikes safely. The Boys and Girls Club of the Los Angeles Harbor is a nonprofit organization that helps young people reach their full potential with enrichment programs in academics, arts, and athletics.
One of Torrance's longest-running military traditions will be returning again to celebrate the men and women who serve our country. Last year's celebration brought out nearly 60,000 people to the parade route, and city staff are expecting a similar turnout this year. It's the 58th year the city of Torrance has hosted an Armed Forces Day celebration to honor the nation's military. The United States Air Force is the honorary branch for 2017. Events start on Friday, May 19th, and go through Sunday, May 21st. Here are some events you will want to mark down. Friday, May 19th, you can enjoy access to military aircraft, vehicles, and support equipment displays starting from 10 a.m. at the Del Amo Fashion Center parking lot. They will be open to the public on Saturday and Sunday as well. On Friday, there will also be a free concert by the Air Force Band of the Golden West at the James Armstrong Theater. The box office opens at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, May 17th, and tickets can be picked up then. There are 2 concerts. Then on Saturday morning, you can take part in the 5K run and walk in tribute to Louis Zamperini. Also on May 20th, the parade will be underway starting at 1:30 on Crenshaw Boulevard. Torrance is one of the few cities nationwide sanctioned by the Department of Defense to honor our armed forces through an annual Armed Forces Day parade and celebration. For a full schedule and more information, go to torranceca.gov/Armed Forces Day.
For another year, the Torrance Police Department's Drug Take-Back Day was a success. They filled up 28 boxes with prescription drugs that's about 420 pounds. This is part of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day campaign. South Bay and Harbor area law enforcement agencies took any expired medications so they can be properly disposed. Pills were discarded free and anonymously. The program is designed to prevent misuse of medications sitting in medicine cabinets. It's also a reminder that medications pose a health hazard if flushed down the toilet or thrown in the trash. To find a place near you to drop off prescription drugs, head to deadiversion.usdoj.gov.
An independent federal agency released its final report of its investigation of the 2015 ExxonMobil refinery explosion recently. The U.S. Chemical Safety and Hazard Investigation Board held a press conference in Torrance where staff explained their findings about the explosion at the ExxonMobil refinery on February 18, 2015. An animated video was shared during the conference to explain how events unfolded and the way the fluid catalytic cracking unit works. Their investigation shows that the incident occurred in its fluid catalytic cracking unit and that hydrocarbons flowed into the air side of this unit, causing an explosive atmosphere. The report also shared that there were multiple gaps in the refinery's processing safety management system and that a slide valve, a safety critical safeguard within the system, was degraded. Now, in the February explosion, the valve, a critical safety component, did not work as intended. The Chemical Safety Board also found that leading up to the incident, the refinery had violated corporate safety standards. They mentioned that their investigation discovered the explosion, quote, narrowly missed hitting a tank containing modified hydrofluoric acid, end of quote. They stated that they were not able to fully explore this topic of MHF and details in regards to the safeguards to prevent or mitigate a release of MHF because the owner-operator at the time did not respond to CSB's request for information. Chairperson Vanessa Sutherland says they hope that all refineries learn from their investigation.
Our investigations are not meant to blame any one organization or individual. Rather, our goal is to share broadly the lessons learned. As we saw in Torrance, the failure to have a robust safety management system resulted in extensive on-site property damage and a release of spent catalyst into the community.
During the conference, safety recommendations were announced, including that refineries identify all safety equipment and perform risk evaluations of equipment. Officials from the board say they hope the refining industry as a whole will examine their safety management processes. The Chemical Safety Board is an independent, non-regulatory federal agency charged with investigating serious chemical incidents. You can find the full conference on our Torrance CitiCABLE YouTube page at youtube.com/Torrance CitiCABLE.
The South Bay community came out to an annual event to show support for those in need. With only tape and cardboard, families and youth created shelter for a night to get a glimpse of what it's like to be homeless. The 6th annual Cardboard Box City spreads awareness about homelessness. Family Promise of the South Bay put on this event.
The homeless population is continuing to rise, 69% increase in the last 3 years here in the South Bay. That's substantial. And 13% of those are minor-age children, and that's who we really concentrate on. We're here for the kids.
There was also live entertainment and some delicious food from Tommy's Hamburgers. A representative from the Social Services Commission in Torrance also talked to attendees about their mission. Family Promise of the South Bay has 800 volunteers. The nonprofit uses a community-based approach to combat family homelessness. Clients in their program receive full resources, support, and services to help them become independent. You can find more information at familypromiseosb.org.
Well, still ahead, these World War II planes made a special landing in Torrance.
Plus, we'll take you to a few Earth Day events that happened across the city.
We have this crazy thing going on today. I was just walking by, and all these DJs and producers are set up all around the city.
I just walked by and I said, "What's happening, guys?" And they told me they were making music.
It's the way you walk, it's the way you talk.
There were a lot of people that claimed they had no musical talent and then sat down and kind of made some really nice sounds.
I like this music.
Feel amped about today, inspired musically about life.
They said I could play, so any chance to play at all. You know, that's my life. I love music.
Yeah, I saw do it.
Some Torrance residents had the opportunity to relive a part of history thanks to a return of a special tour. The Wings of Freedom experience by the Collings Foundation made a stop at the Torrance Airport, once again offering people a once-in-a-lifetime chance to touch and even fly aircraft from World War II. The B-17, B-24, B-25, and the P-51 Mustang were in Torrance for 4 days. The B-24J Liberator is from 1944. That is an 8th AF bomber that flew a record 130 missions over Europe. The P-51 is considered the finest fighter aircraft in the history of aviation. Every year, the Collings Foundation takes these planes to the sky and visits more than 100 cities, reminding and educating visitors about the courageous World War II veterans. Taking a flight gives you an experience of what it was like to be in World War II.
Probably the B-17 is my favorite, just the way it feels when you climb inside and just the history of it.
Every flight fee helps to pay for maintenance to keep these aircraft going. The purpose of the Collings Foundation is to organize and support living history events and the presentation of historical artifacts.
The city of Torrance celebrated Earth Day in many ways this year, and one way was its annual tradition. More than 100 volunteers from around Los Angeles and the South Bay came out to Torrance's gem, the Madrona Marsh Preserve, to plant native plants. For the past 15 years, the Earth Day event has been here. Volunteers were busy weeding, then digging, and finally planting the native species. Steve Ash, the manager for the Madrona Marsh Preserve, says the toughest part about Earth Day is prepping for the event. Marsh staff grows the plants from seeds in their nursery to get them ready for Earth Day.
Preparing the land is important too. For example, our staff comes out here and weeks before we're weeding, we're watering, we're moving plants out here and positioning them for our visitors and the folks that come here on Earth Day so that they put them in the ground in the proper place in the proper way.
I think it's the process, making sure we're doing it right. We definitely want to keep a high rate of the survival of the plants, so we want to make sure that they end up growing and they don't die. So I think that's the most difficult part, just trying to dig up the amount of dirt.
Approximately 400 native plants were put into the ground, and Marsh staff say they chose this project because this is the best time of the year to plant native plants.
And there was another Earth Day celebration that brought out crowds. The city of Torrance hosted its recycling event for Torrance residents. People came by to drop off paper for shredding and electronics to recycle. They were accepting TVs, cell phones, small appliances, and other electronics for safe and responsible recycling. This is the first year they only focused on paper and electronics. They plan to host separate ones for clothing and shoe recycling and used oil filter exchange.
We're trying to give you the best, easiest ways to recycle a lot of these things that just cannot go into the trash. They're just too hazardous, too dangerous. We want to make it free and easy for our residents to be able to recycle as much as possible.
Every time it comes around, it's a perfect way to get rid of all things that you don't need, electronics, paperwork, things that may be cluttering up in your garage that may cause a fire hazard. And if you don't need it anymore, why store it?
Last year, they accepted 18 tons of electronics and close to 15 tons of shredded paper. To stay up to date with recycling events, go to recycletorrance.org.
Do you think you've got talent? Well, now you can sign up to show it off. The South Bay's Got Talent, put on by the Torrance Cultural Arts Foundation, is now accepting applications for its next show. All talents and ages are welcome to apply. Auditions will take place in August, and the first, second, and third place winners will all receive trophies. The first place winner gets a full scholarship towards the 2018 World Championships of the Performing Arts. A second place winner gets a $500 scholarship towards entry registration fee, and third place will receive $300 towards registration. To download an application or for more information, go to torrancearts.org.
A recent job fair gave young adults an opportunity to get hired on the spot.
Are you ready to get a job?
Hundreds of students stood in line with their resumes and dressed to impress at the 17th annual Blueprint for Success Job Fair presented by the South Bay Workforce Investment Board in partnership with the City of Carson. This year brought out more than 960 students from high school and community college districts throughout the South Bay. There were more than 80 employers, with 13 of them from the City of Torrance. These included L3 Communications, U.S. Security Associates, Attico, City of Torrance, Yoshinawa, and many more.
This event, we actually get people hired. We get a lot of people hired. And we have employers that are committed because they've come with us every year. So I think that the results, some job fairs are good for meeting people, meet and greet, but this one, there's going to be a lot of people hired today, and if they're not hired, they're going to be able to get hired later on.
At the end of the 3-hour fair, 235 students were hired on the spot, and 280 were invited back for second interviews. Torrance-based company L3 Communications representative Maria Garcia Granados says this is a great opportunity.
I am here promoting our current employment opportunities to the youth. We have partnered with the South Bay WIB over the last year to actually encourage students to experience a professional work environment. And so currently we have several students through the South Bay WIB through their Work Youth program helping us out in different capacities in our organization.
We are very interested in bringing youth into our program. It's a good step towards law enforcement, criminal justice. It's a good stepping stone, and it's a good solid career foundation.
The South Bay Workforce Investment Board operates 4 one-stop business and career centers within the South Bay service area, including one in Torrance. Their goal is to keep South Bay talent in the region and help them learn the skills needed for the workforce.
You get your foot into the door of getting a job, but I feel like that's something that every teen should experience, being independent, going to find a job. It helped me, so I feel like it would help them as well.
The One-Stop Business and Career Center in Torrance is located at 1220 Ingratiot Avenue.
The Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce welcomed a new weight loss clinic that does much more than help you lose weight. The Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, City Council members, and Senator Ben Allen's office recognized Medi weight loss clinics for their service to the city. They opened last summer and have been assisting clients throughout the South Bay community through physician-supervised weight loss programs. Staff say they're not about classes, prepackaged food, a point system, or promises. Medi Weight Loss was developed by physicians, registered dietitians, and health professionals to help clients control calorie and carbohydrate intake while eating the right amount of protein. Located in the plaza on Sepulveda Boulevard and Hawthorne Boulevard near the Madukai Market, Medi Weight Loss clinics are about a lifestyle change.
We're actually a 3-phase program, and we're about helping you get to your goal weight, but also helping you maintain that once you get there, because that's the greater success of our program.
The facility also offers appetite suppressants, B12 shots, and one-on-one support about nutrition, fitness, and lifestyle re-education. An average patient at Medi Weight Loss loses 6.4 pounds the first week and 14 pounds their first month. Dr. Volpicelli opened this location in Torrance because of his strong ties to the city. Medi Weight Loss clinics have 99 locations across 25 states. For more information, you can go to mediweightloss.com.
A well-known lifestyle blogger will soon make a stop at the Del Amo Fashion Center, all for a good cause. Jenny Keller of Jenny Cookies, also known as The Baker to the Stars will be at the Del Amo Fashion Center on May 19th at 2 p.m. in the Nordstrom Court. Jenny, along with her team, will host a make-your-own terrarium workshop with succulent-themed dessert treats. The workshop is open to all shoppers for a $25 donation to the Susan G. Komen, which is the world's largest breast cancer organization. Customers in return will receive a discount card with up to 25% off participating retailers. The partnership is part of Simon's More Than Pink movement in support of Susan G. Komen and the fight against breast cancer. Simon's goal is to donate $1 million in 2017. To get a seat at this event, go to jennycookies.delamo.splash.com/.
A popular sporting goods store is gearing up to open by the end of May. As you drive down the boulevard, you can get a glimpse of the newest Dick's Sporting Goods store located above the existing Joann Fabrics and Crafts store at the Del Amo Fashion Center. Exterior and interior work continues, and officials say that they have already started stocking the new store, which is set to open on Memorial Day weekend. Dick's Sporting Goods store is an authentic full-line sporting goods retailer offering a broad assortment of brand name equipment, apparel, and footwear. The store will be 2 levels and approximately 83,000 square feet. Officials say this will be the largest Dick's store for its new design.
West High School's winning robotics team went head-to-head with some of the world's top teams. During the entire season, West High School's robotics club won a record 19 wins and had 16 losses. For the third time, they recently competed in the first robotics competition in Houston. They took home 61st place out of the 67 teams in their division. Team members say they enjoyed the trip and found it to be a great learning experience. This was the third time they competed in the World Championships.
YMCA's all over the country held their annual Healthy Kids Day, including the one right here in Torrance. The Torrance YMCA South Bay welcomed the community for its 26th annual Healthy Kids Day celebration. The national event allows the organization to show off its programs and partnerships to non-members. During the day, families can visit and use the facility and take part in activities to see what it has to offer. Attendees stop by the gym to play some hockey with the Kings, use the climbing wall, and swim in the pool. There was also reading time for children, and nutritional food was offered.
This is actually a national effort. So most of the Ys in the United States are actually doing the same thing today. And again, it's really to kind of model that healthy living, social responsibility, and youth development.
The mission is to get kids more excited about being active. The Torrance South Bay YMCA offers programs from childcare, camp, and family activities, as well as lots of exercise choices. 1,600 YMCAs took part. For more information, go to ymcala.org/Torrance-South-Bay.
A local hospital took part in National Healthcare Decisions Day with an interactive wall. Providence Institute for Human Caring put up this What Matters Most wall at Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance next to their farmers market. It gave patients, families, caregivers, and the community an opportunity to think about the future and write out what is most important to them. This wall is inspired by the Before I Die project that has been created in more than 70 countries.
We've wanted for a long time to do things that focus people's attention, particularly our professional caregivers' attention, on the personal side of human beings' experience with health and health care.
Officials say it's a way to get the conversation started about advanced care planning as well. National Healthcare Decisions Day focuses on helping people understand the importance of advanced healthcare planning. At the event, people were given an opportunity to fill out an advance directive and have it notarized. Providence Institute for Human Caring helps with this type of planning. For more information, go to providence.org/Institute for Human Caring.
Well, still ahead, we've got some great upcoming events you won't want to miss.
We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
Daisy is 6 years old, and she is my very best friend. I couldn't live alone without her. I spend a lot of time in my backyard. I feed the birds and the bees. I love my flowers. The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. I love them. They're my savior. And I look forward to volunteers because they've all become my friends. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's some upcoming events to mark on your calendar. On Wednesday, May 10th at 7 p.m., stop by the Katy Geiser Civic Center Library's Community Meeting Room. You can meet author and cyclist Phil Guyman. He is a former American professional road racing cyclist. This event is part of the Torrance Library's participation in the Beach Cities Read. Then come out to your local fire station to meet with firefighters and tour the station on Saturday, May 13th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can stop by any of the Torrance fire departments. Then you can celebrate Mother's Day by attending Torrance South Bay YMCA's Mother-Daughter Ferry Tea Party on Sunday, May 21st from 1 a.m. to 3 p.m. Registration ends May 10th. The afternoon will include a lunch, a photo booth, and crafts. And before we go, we have a sneak peek at what's happening on the sports desk.
That's right. Byron, what do you have for us?
Hey, Julie and Ben, coming up on the sports desk. All they need is one. The conference championship has come down to this. Elko versus Long Beach. Who came out on top in this high-scoring affair? Plus, a couple of Torrance High athletes are ready to sign on the dotted line. Find out where some of your favorite Tartars will be playing ball next year. Tune into the sports desk at 4 and 9:30 p.m. right here on CitiCABLE. Julie and Ben, back to you.
Thanks, Byron. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Julie Chan. Thanks so much for joining us.